up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with another banger of an educational reaction for you because In a Nutshell has just dropped. Smoking is awesome. Now, obviously we know this is not a true statement, so I'm guessing we're gonna find out the deathly and terrible effects and facts of smoking and maybe what it's done to the planet. I don't know, dude. All I know is I'm hyped to get my learn on, but before we do, can you show In a Nutshell some love by subscribing to the channel and chat? We're trying to get to 250,000 subs. So if you haven't yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo woo. Hold up. What up, In a Nutshell?
The problem with smoking is that it's kind of amazing. This is an irresponsible thing to say, but if we're going to talk about it, we might as well do so honestly. Smoking creates a temporary problem
I quit
and offers
7
an
years ago,
instant
8 years
solution.
ago.
Once your brain is used to nicotine, for up to 72 hours you're itchy, nervous and stressed. But one drag and instantly you feel really good.
Reliefs it all.
But it's way more than just a physical addiction. Smoking helps you focus at work and is an excuse to take regular breaks, which is good for you mentally. It's a tool against
the
boredom.
hardest thing I've ever done is quit smoking.
It makes bad moments feel less bad and good moments better. It's social, fun together, and a good way to make friends as smokers always group up. Your lips are one of the most sensitive parts of your body, and putting something between them is deeply satisfying. So now that we've given smoking an honest introduction, let's smoke a cigarette together to see why it makes you feel so good and what exactly happens inside your body when you do it.
It's so bad.
The best
it
worst
kills your
thing.
lungs.
A cigarette is dried tobacco leaves mixed with chemicals that make it burn slowly, helping you to absorb nicotine and flavors that make the smoke
the same thing they put in mummies.
Less harsh. Let's light it.
Or it used to be anyways. I think fiberglass was in tobacco at one time.
Cigarette smoke is 95% gases like carbon dioxide and water vapor. The remaining 5% are particles called tar, and they contain the magic sauce, carbon or nitrogen compounds filled with nicotine. As you inhale, billions of particles interact with everything they pass through, getting stuck on your throat, tongue and trachea. Your lungs are like big inflatable sponges and have a filter and barrier, the cilia cells with hair-like extensions covered by a layer of mucus.
I quit for 7 years and I can't imagine how bad my lungs
to
look.
be swept away in a sort of dance.
If you smoke, quit.
Tar
it's terrible
particles
for you.
land in the mucus and turn into a sticky brown substance that stops the dance and paralyzes the cilia, allowing them to get deeper into your lungs to the alveoli. Alveoli are little air sacs, and here's where your actual breathing happens. They have very thin walls so that oxygen can transfer to your blood and carbon dioxide can leave. Now the magic is released. Nicotine passes through the thin walls and enters your bloodstream, reaching your brain so fast that it feels instant. The positive effect arrives right away. If your brain had a control board, smoking would be like pressing all the buttons at once, releasing loads of transmitters and hormones that affect your whole body.
That brain be tripping, bro.
Epinephrine and cortisol make your heart beat faster and your body ready for action. Dopamine makes you feel happy and relaxed and reduces your appetite. Beta endorphins reduce pain and stress. Nicotine excites and calms you at the same time. You become more alert and able to focus, your nerves become more sensitive to pleasant sensations, then your whole body relaxes. Together, all of these effects just feel great. But your brain immediately tries to return to normal and pushes back against the effects of nicotine, which is fine as long as you have nicotine inside your blood, but once its effects wear off, your body is left overcompensating, creating a massive imbalance within itself. The more you smoke, the harder your body tries to push back, which is why nicotine is so addictive. You stop feeling like yourself without it.
Damn right.
It's still great, but now you also need it.
Mine was more of a mental thing. Like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it, dude. And I was like, I was never a social smoker. Like, I couldn't just have like a drag or a cigarette, like on a weekend when I went out drinking with friends or something. Like, if I had a cigarette, that meant I was smoking a pack. If I was smoking a pack, I was smoking a pack a day.
Just to feel normal.
The toughest thing I've ever done was quit smoking.
If that was all smoking did, well, that would be kind of okay. Nicotine comes with thousands of different chemical buddies. Cadmium, lead, arsenic and cyanide, hydrogen peroxide or nitrogen oxides cause damage wherever they end up. Carbon monoxide reduces how much oxygen your blood can carry. In your lungs, your cilia cells struggle. It's hard to push mucus clogged up with tar, and some of your cilia cells die. Your alveoli are supersensitive and can't handle this sort of stress. A few of your tiny air
Here's all
sacs
the
pop
bad
like
stuff,
balloons,
chat.
causing irreparable damage. Your body needs to get rid of all this tar immediately. Goblet cells pump out extra mucus to compensate, which makes breathing harder, so you start coughing to get the tar and mucus out. Your immune system activates and macrophages begin eating up tar particles.
And that was the thing too. Every morning when I'd wake up, I would just hack up all this crap from my lungs, and oh, I don't miss that.
Smokers have way more of these cleanup cells here because their lungs are literally full of dirt. But the nicotine makes the macrophages sluggish and inefficient. Worse, they vomit chemicals that dissolve your lung tissue and cause tiny wounds that turn into scar tissue. Scars in your lungs are bad if you like breathing.
Only if you like living.
Nicotine raises your heart rate while ordering blood vessels all over your body to constrict. Meanwhile, toxic chemicals get stuck, causing countless tiny wounds all over your body that will turn into scars. Those scars leak proteins that create random blood clots, making your blood vessels even narrower. Constricted and narrow vessels put a lot of stress on your heart muscle that has to work much harder to keep blood flowing.
This is terrifying. Yeah, take that puff.
Inside your skin, the chemicals trigger enzymes that break down collagen, the protein that makes your skin elastic and smooth. This creates folds and wrinkles. Your skin ages much quicker and you look older sooner. But maybe the worst thing is what happens to your immune system. All over your body it reacts to tiny wounds and activates, fighting an invisible enemy, damaging healthy cells in the process. While at the same time, the nicotine makes it slow and sluggish. Worse at fighting actual diseases. We could go on like this, but this is getting old. In a nutshell, every single one of your organs is highly stressed and suffers some kind of permanent damage. Over time, fats get stuck in the scars inside blood vessels, which get narrower and narrower until they start to suffocate your organs. Your overworked heart beats even harder to push blood through the extra resistance, and your blood pressure rises.
Like if you quit for 7 years,
so hard that fluids seep out of blood vessels into your lungs, which makes breathing even harder. The likelihood of a blood clot blocking a critical passage in the body rises enormously, which can eventually cause a heart attack or a stroke. Almost all smokers eventually get chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So many of your alveoli are irreversibly destroyed that you're always short of breath, never able to breathe freely. Once you have it, it can only get worse, never better again. Finally, there's cancer.
That's great.
You get a sort of double whammy. On the one hand, you flood your whole system and especially your lungs with at least 70 highly cancer-causing chemicals. And on the other hand, you paralyze the part of your immune system that kills and prevents cancer. This is why cancer is so likely in smokers. Ultimately, smoking is uniquely dangerous among the things you are legally allowed to do. The average smoker loses 10 years of life, which means that some lose like 5 years and others more like 25. You don't know which one will be you. But it cuts into your health span even more, making a much larger part of your life spent being chronically sick. Oof. So why don't smokers not just stop doing it? Smokers are often seen as unhinged or without discipline, which is unfair. Nicotine is one of the most physically and psychologically addictive substances known to humanity. If you ever start using it, you'll likely struggle with it for the rest of your life. The physical addiction lasts around 3 days, but the psychological addiction is much harder to overcome because you form strong habits and it's connected to many social cues, like hanging out with friends or winding down from work.
Yep.
The perverse thing is that almost everybody who starts smoking as a teenager. The tobacco industry has to target vulnerable brains and get them hooked on the pleasurable effects of nicotine, or it would go away. Today, about 1 billion people will light a cigarette, which is a lot, but at least the trends are looking good. In 2000, 34% of adults were smoking. In 2020, it was only 23%. Still, in 2023, about 8 million people died from it. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are many successful strategies for quitting. We've put links to some in the video description. People who stop smoking by the age of 35 on average don't die earlier than non-smokers. If you're older than that, even quitting late can add years to your life.
I feel better.
It's a bit like with climate change. Every bit counts, even if damage has already been done. We're not the morality or health police, you do you. But at least be aware what exactly you're doing and why you're doing it. Most of you watching this don't smoke, so, well, just maybe never try it. Smoking only really solves a temporary problem, but it creates loads of permanent ones. Good thing I never started. But
All right, let me bring you in, chat. Dude, I'm telling you, chat. Like, yes, a lot of the things he said in the beginning were true, but it is literally the worst thing I ever did in my life was I'm now an ex-smoker, but become a smoker. You stink, stains your clothes with the smell. Everything smells like it, stains your teeth. The health, obviously, the health risks are deadly. I mean, it's literally deadly. And, I mean, it's insanely expensive. A pack of cigarettes is like $7, $8, $9, $10 now. I mean, sheesh, that's insane, bro. And that's like a day. Over $300 a month. But yeah, I'm just so thankful I quit. I think I'm coming up on 8 years, actually. 7 years, 6, I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Chat, never start smoking. It's terrible, 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 terrible. And if you vape, quit that too. Because in 10 years, all the research is gonna come out and saying it was worse than smoking and begin with. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got some education out of this. Make sure you show In a Nutshell some love by subscribing to the channel. Try to get to 250,000,000 subs. So if you haven't yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And remember, it's Eat Sleep and Big Beats, and as usual, be counting on another. That's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Cool. Got nothing but love for the Sauce Gang. Chat, seriously. If you know anyone that smokes, tell them to stop. It's terrible. If your parents smoke, ask them to stop. We need a smoke-free society. It's terrible. Peace out. Love you guys. Woo-woo!